Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Would you sleep with sick women?
I may be pregnant, but I am still a man.
Spank the unruly ones.
It's indecent, it's vulgar, it's blasphemous.
I'm gonna ride you till you can't stand up.
Come on, let's go down.
All right, keep your shirt on.
LoveLine's meant for an adult audience. LoveLine may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised. Here's LoveLine with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
Yes, it is LoveLine. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. He's a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist. Good evening, doctor.
I'm good evening.
All right, you're busy reading an article.
Yeah, I'm totally impressed with it. For the first time, our words are reproduced in journalistic context.
Right.
Usually it's some kind of weird distortion of what we said.
What is the magazine that we're on the cover of?
What's it say? Internet Underground.
All right.
But I appreciate the fact that they are just put our words down. I mean, they interviewed us, they put down what we said. I mean,
that is the best way to do an article on us.
Yes.
All right. Read the quote that you were laughing about 10 seconds before the show started. I thought it was funny, too.
Why don't you say it? I mean,
No, go ahead.
Because I'm particularly proud of this, Adam. They asked you, well, they're getting to cyber dating. This is more, what's your opinion of the whole cybersex, Adam? Adam says, it's pretty natural human tendency that people are going to sexualize anything eventually, whatever the technology. If there was some kind of magic wand that you could rub on a body part that would make you feel better, it would take about 10 minutes for most people to put it in their, I'm not going to say because you're going to put it on a drug.
Oh, please, Drew.
Take
You
about 10 minutes
stopped right on the punchline. Go ahead.
Take about 10 minutes for most people to put it in their ass.
Right. Truer words were never spoken.
Yeah.
All right, Drew, I want to test just how far off.
And it says, hey, if it feels good on your elbow, imagine how it's going to feel in your ass. This is you.
Well, that's how people think, Drew.
That's how you think. Those are your words. I recognize them.
All right, well, God bless the folks at, what is the name of that? Internet Underground, yes, for not quoting us out of context. All right, Drew.
Yeah.
Do you know who won the Tyson fight?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Well, I know what happened. I heard about it.
That is absolutely amazing.
I meant to ask you what you thought of that.
All right, I watched a fight.
Yeah.
And we rarely talk about anything that's relevant on this show, or at least timely. But tonight we will, because I used to be a boxing instructor, so I was, of course, enjoying the fight.
Were you appalled?
And, it was sort of history. I'll tell you what I was appalled at. I took the over. Now, when you bet on a fight, you can bet on a million things in a fight, but you not only bet on who's going to win the fight, but there's an over-under, meaning if is there a knockout going to be before the 7th round or after the 7th round?
Right.
And it was, in fact, the 7th round. Couple of big heavyweights going at it. People would speculate that the fight might end with a knockout in the 1st or 2nd round, what have you. Yeah. So they pick a round number. Because the fight went the distance practically the last fight, I took the over. The point is I bet that the fight would go longer than 7 rounds.
Ugh.
Now, because Tyson took his ear off in the 3rd round, I lose. Because they stopped the fight on disqualification.
Yeah.
And, they always say that human bites are worse than any other animals. Now, what is that? Why? I mean, how come if a raccoon bites you, it's not as bad as a human?
A raccoon can be bad, but...
Well, then what are they talking about?
Well, there's 2 things with the human. One is the bacteria that live in their mouth. The other is the ear has cartilage that if it gets infected, it will just dissolve. It will just disintegrate. And it's very difficult to stop.
All right, but what about... isn't there bacteria in all animals?
Yeah, cat bites are bad.
Oh, okay. All right, who's worse, cat or human?
Toss up. Cat's got a bug called Pasteurella, and you have to use penicillin to really treat it effectively. And if you're allergic to penicillin, you're in big trouble.
And Drew, you were telling me before we went on the air, it's especially bad if it's a black guy, right? No, I thought that's what you said.
No.
Okay.
We must have spoke 2 words before the show, and that was not one of them.
I'm just trying to get some.
And I was trying to talk to you before the show too. We can't talk.
All right.
If it was on a mic, a tape recorder, or something on, you and I can't communicate.
A few things I wanted to say. One, I was thinking about Tyson, and I was just driving in thinking about Tyson, and I was thinking about the fact that he went into prison for a few years, and that everyone was going to wonder if he had been softened up when he came out. Would he be the same fighter with the same animal? And I thought to myself, you know you're badass when people are speculating that prison has softened you up.
Right.
All right, number 2, the other thing I was thinking about has nothing to do with the Tyson-Holyfield fight, is what is the deal with all these signals with the arrows in this godforsaken Culver City? And just all over the place. Every night we drive home and we sit at this signal where the signal is green, but the arrow is red, even though you couldn't see a pair of oncoming headlights with some binoculars.
Yeah, I think this is something. I think they knew you worked in this town and planned something, because every intersection we hit, we have to take a turn on, and they put a new light in.
All right, as I'm being pistol whipped while I'm being carjacked, waiting at that signal, 12:45 tomorrow night, the last thoughts that go through my head before I meet my maker is I'm going to kill the mayor of Culver City. They put up an arrow every 20 feet in this place, and it's red. Why does it have to be red?
And then the arrow is only like 3 seconds, so only the first 2 cars get to go. So if you're
wait,
third or fourth,
you wait 4 hours to 3 seconds. Now, most of the country doesn't really know what we're talking about. In most big cities, light turns green, people turn left ahead of traffic.
Right.
They don't even wait for the oncoming traffic.
The point is everything should be left to what you'd call the spirit of the law. Meaning the light...
No. This means your interpretation of the law.
Yes, because the arrow is red because they don't want you turning in front of oncoming traffic, right?
Right.
But if it's 12:45 at night and there's not another car on the road, and you can very safely turn, you could do donuts in the middle of the intersection when we drive home from this dump.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, but you know you get a big fat ticket the second you did that. Oh, these arrows. All right, when I'm president, first thing I do is get rid of the arrow. Or I leave it and I point it down.
This looks like a picture of a president.
August.
These guys.
August.
Yes?
You're 15.
Yes.
All right, what's your question?
I have questions about tongue piercing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting it done tomorrow, and I was wondering about possible infections.
It's a possibility, although more unusual than I would predict, but it's a possibility. And then the more serious concern that I've always had about that particular pierce is the artery that goes to the tongue could get nicked. And arteries are not very forgiving. It's a very high-pressure system that if you get a tiny little nick on it, all the tissue around it explodes. And if it's your tongue, it'll swell up to the size of a baseball, and you potentially could not breathe. Now, I don't know how often this happened, and I've never heard of it, in fact, but it just concerns me. And we had some piercings done in the studio a couple of years ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
And, we saw it done, and they had all been trained, and they all were looking for the lingual artery and whatnot. I need 10 years of training to put a needle in somebody's arm to draw blood. It just is a very concerning procedure to me.
August.
Yeah?
Who do you hate more, your mom or your dad?
I don't know. Probably my mom, because she's the one I live with.
Uh-huh. Does she not want you to get the piercing?
I didn't tell her.
Uh-huh. But you know she'd turn a back-over flip. She saw that barbell in your tongue, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What institution is going to perform this procedure to a 15-year-old? Most of them, if you're under 18, are very unlikely to do this.
I know somebody who will, but...
Guy works out of his van?
No, it's a professional place. I'm not going to...
All right. Well, they're good because they're performing on minors.
Is there a possibility of, getting it caught in your throat and, swallowing your tongue? Or anything?
What could be worse than the tongue swelling up and you stopping breathing, which is what I'm worried can happen?
I don't know.
Okay. Here, I have Adam.
All right.
Please. No, wait.
What?
Please.
What?
You got to help me. I have a real problem. I have to communicate a lot of information this show.
Yes.
And I communicate about some really troubling, dangerous issues. Mm-hmm. And the reality that I try to communicate about is somehow, even though in reality much worse, not so appealing and easy to assimilate as things like ecstasy drains the spinal fluid out of your back, and you'll swallow your tongue if you get a tongue piercing.
Yeah. You sound like Charlie Brown's teacher. That's how most...
and it's just because I'm me? It's just because I'm me?
No. That has something to do with it.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. people have their own preconceived notions, whether it has to do with something physiological or emotional, or it has to do with what their boyfriend or girlfriend is doing. They come in
their own structure, their own concept.
They come in with everything pretty much in place.
Yeah.
And whether it's something they think is going to happen or something they're worried is going to happen, and that's pretty much what they cling to.
And they stay with that. So if you bring up another issue that requires a new concept, but it's more dangerous, it's overload.
Right. They got to get back to their initial thought.
Wah again. Okay.
Okay, Drew.
Can you help me bridge that, please?
I can't. No,
please.
only God can do that. Laura, 18.
Hi.
Hey.
I have this kind of problem. I think I'm an nymphomaniac.
Hey, you want to gamble?
Yep.
All right, we're gambling. Hold on, Laura. Hey. Yeah. Oh, big 20.
Amazing. Do you have a 1, though?
No, but I got change. All right, go ahead, Drew.
All right, let's get her on here, so we'll talk to her a little bit. Oh no, we were gonna first select our place our bet, right?
Yeah.
Sexually abused around the age of 8 by a 13 to 15-year-old, something like that.
Okay, I'm going with no sexual abuse.
And home situation very chaotic and unappealing.
All right, no doubt. I'm going with absent dad.
Okay.
All right, Laura.
Yeah.
Okay.
How old were you when you first had sex?
15.
15. Nothing before that?
Nothing.
Mm-hmm. Where's Dad?
He lives in my house.
Uh-huh. Does he pay any attention to you?
Yeah.
He does?
Yeah.
When he's beating you?
No, wait a minute. Let's find out what she means by nymphomaniac. Sometimes, some girls...
we gambled too early.
Maybe. That's our own fault, though. It's not her fault.
No.
Some 15 to 18-year-olds are, women in particular, surprised by their libido, by their sexual drive, and they feel like there's something wrong with them if they're interested in sex very intensely. Is that what you're talking about? Or is it you actually go out and have relationships with multiple partners?
Yeah.
You have multiple partners?
Well, I've had 5 since I was 15.
You're 18 now?
Yeah.
No. That doesn't really make for a nymphomaniac, especially a woman.
No, but see, that's not the point.
Okay.
That I'm getting at. It's just that I crave it all the time, and I want it all the time. And I'm going away to school next year, and I don't want that to get in the way of anything, and I don't want to have that be a problem while I'm at school.
Let me explore with you. How do you feel when you have these encounters? How do they make you feel? Are they satisfying?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And have they been in the context of relationships? Or have they been one-night stands?
Well, 4 out of the 5 were in relationships.
Okay, so you had one-night stand and 4 relationships that were sexual. Mm-hmm. And why did the relationships fall apart?
Different reasons.
Give me an example.
One of them was having problems with marijuana, and so I broke up with him.
Okay. All
right, but let me ask you this, Laura. If you're with a boyfriend, would you want sex with him every day, let's say?
Laura?
Yeah.
Do you think there's something wrong with that?
Kind of.
Would that be satisfactory as long as it was just the one guy? Or would you sort of wander also?
Oh, I wouldn't wander at all.
Okay.
All right, you're fine.
You're fine, Laura. You are fine. Don't worry. You got to learn to contain your impulses just like anybody, and make sure you channel them in such a way that you have healthy relationships. But it sounds like you've been very healthy. You've gotten rid of guys that were addicts and they weren't giving you what you needed in the relationship. It just happens you have a very healthy libido.
I'll get to the bottom of this. What religion are you, Laura?
Catholic.
Okay. Your folks are fairly religious?
Yeah, they sent me to Catholic school.
All right. There you go. So what you're doing is balancing a normal, healthy libido against the libido that Jesus gave you.
You're supposed to have.
That the nun rammed down your throat.
Okay.
Then you start thinking you're nuts.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
There was no physical abuse. There's no mental abuse. There was Bible abuse going on. You went to a
maybe
religious school, got your head filled with this rhetoric, which is, it's a sin to masturbate. You're not supposed to have sex with anybody but your husband. The only time you have sex is to procreate. And then naturally, at 18, when the hormones are popping, you're starting to feel like the biggest sinner in the world. This was guilt. You see, Drew? I got to the bottom of this.
And maybe the guilt is compelling her into relationships that she shouldn't even be in the first place. But guilt plus libido equals a bad choice in a relationship. Really?
Guilt plus libido equals a guy named Guido.
Frankly, I would appreciate...
Thank you for almost stepping on my punchline, Drew, but then restraining yourself.
I encourage more callers like Laura. We get that's more of a routine health problem and a relationship problem. And if we get more of those, I don't think we'd be so jaded.
Right.
We wouldn't be betting so quickly. We were wrong to bet on Laura.
Tanya, 20.
Yes, it's more or less a compliment. It's not a question. About a caller on Thursday night about me not letting him see his son, threatening him to take away his son if he goes away to college.
Right, I remember this. Do you remember this one?
Yeah. We're all stumped. Let me just recap the question. You guys have a son, but you're not married.
Right.
The guy was 19?
He's 20.
And he was going to go to school an hour away.
Yeah.
And you didn't want him, he said that you weren't going to let him go to school.
Right.
No, but listen, he's got he's accepted to another college that's less than 20 minutes away. But he'd rather go away to, live on his own, to start on his own. Mm-hmm. Which, yet, his parents will be supporting him anyway. So he wouldn't know how to live on his own. And there was... I don't know where he came up with saying that I was going to take his son away from him and not let him see him. No, that was never, ever said.
So what's happening now?
It seems like we were kind of cutting through a lot of his nonsense, if I remember right. I mean, he had no capacity to see anyone's point of view except his own. And his own, as I recall, was fairly distorted. Right? And so we first were ready to jump on his side, and then we realized we were dealing with some distortion.
Not me, if you recall, Tanya.
I heard it.
I repeatedly told him that he must work full-time, he must take care of his wife and his child, and school was secondary.
Right. I plan on going to school in 98, but he's welcome to go. I'm not keeping him away from school.
It's time for him to grow up.
I want him to have a relationship with the son and not a weekend daddy.
I think the bottom line, we were telling him to grow up, right?
Yes. Yeah. My bottom line was, like I've stated a million times, once you have a kid, you are Papa. And now, with the title of Papa, comes certain responsibilities. It's like when you win Miss USA or something. There's certain things you have to do.
Right.
When you get crowned with the Mr. Papa USA, you have to provide, you have to work, you have to spend X amount of time with the kid, you have to change a diaper or two. You can't just haul off and go to college.
Yeah.
You got to take care of business. Otherwise, me, who's not a Papa, is going to have to pay to raise you or to raise your child because Papa don't feel like it. Too much of that going on in this country. All right. Franco, 21.
How you doing, guys?
Good.
Dr. Drew, I have a question about time conflicts and everything with the significant other. My girlfriend and I are both applying to medical school. And in the past, during high school and such, having been previously surrounded by the profession a lot, I'd always see a lot of doctors get into trouble with their wives or husbands.
Right.
Because the profession demands a great deal of time.
Absolutely.
Well, you're talking about 20-hour weeks oftentimes.
Yeah, I mean, it gets ridiculous. And
120-hour weeks sometimes.
Yeah, sure.
And so I was
one time I was doing that.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
No.
I was just wondering, how it is that you, as a doctor, would recommend getting through stuff like that, besides, your basic communication.
Really, my first word of advice is don't get married until after residency.
No kidding.
Really.
I mean, that can be pretty late for some
look, I just saw every marriage that came along that I was aware of during medical school, early in residency, was over by the end of residency.
Yeah.
Plus, you're going to want a free shot at those candy stripers, Franco.
There's a lot of change that goes on, a lot of prioritizing of each other's careers, and it's very difficult to balance one against the other. It's very difficult. In terms of time, that's all the reason why why it's not a great idea to have a relationship for the first 6 to 8 years of training, because your life is not your own. It is just not your own.
No.
After that, it's difficult enough to balance it out, to try to, but then at least you have some control over your schedule, and you just have to prioritize. I mean, it took me almost 8 years to learn that. After training, of overworking and realizing that it's just not worth it. You have to put your family first. At a certain time, you have to stop seeing patients.
Franco, I remember when I was cleaning carpets, and I had to say to the old lady, listen, it's either you or the wand, and right now I got a career.
Yeah.
And it's...
Well, no, I mean, I see a lot of carpet cleaners and doctors get into trouble with with their wives or husbands.
Why do carpet cleaners get in trouble with their wives?
It's a rough profession,
Well, I know, but I've heard you've talked endlessly about the incredible stress of driving in with guys like, what was his name?
Everlasting. Right. The scary rapper from New York who never had a license, who now is in jail for murder. There's a certain camaraderie. It's a fraternal group, the carpet cleaners, even though there's often a language barrier.
But the difficulties.
Yeah. Oh, yes. A lot of heartache in carpet cleaning.
And the wives?
Wives can't understand, and they don't realize you bring it home with you at the end of the night. You're still smelling like Tony Roma's rib sauce.
How would the average carpet cleaner get in trouble with the wife? Give me an example.
High suicide level in carpet cleaning. Very stressful job.
I see.
A lot of guys go down on the job.
So, no.
What are you doing, Drew?
Trying to get the commercial.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll tell you what we did do carpet cleaning, though. They would give us the keys to these restaurants. Obviously, there's no carpet cleaning going on during store hours. And a lot of these bars, pubs, and restaurants would close at midnight. And they'd throw you the keys and tell you to lock up when you're done at 3:30 in the morning. Well, we would promptly go back and fire up the grill or go to the bar and fire up the blender. And, I'll tell you the story of the time my drunken friend stole I don't want to give it away, but more carpet cleaning tales after this.
I don't go in for these backdoor shenanigans.
Sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Shenanigans.
Chips, dips, chains, whips. Basic high school orgy type of thing.
LoveLine, I'll be right back.
WEBN.
It's LoveLine. All right.
WEBN.
Hi, folks. This is Adam West. You know me, I suppose, as Batman. Don't tell anyone. You can help make the world a little safer by listening to LoveLine every night with Adam Curl and Dr. Drew.
Yes, Adam West, total pro. Just like my partner here, Dr. Drew. Phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number, 310-854-4455. You know what I love about Adam West? That's what I love about Adam West. I was going to tell the carpet cleaning story.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, but you know what? I was just thinking, I think I told this story. Anyway, I was at a place called the Russian Tea Room in the Beverly Center, cleaning a bar out with a friend of mine, the guy who was on house arrest for a long time.
The boot, yeah.
Had the boot on his ankle. Mm-hmm. An awesome device, by the way. He couldn't even get down to his driveway without the thing going off. They got to take it a step further and send like a couple thousand volts to his body. But anyway. This is before he was arrested. This is many years ago. And he was getting loaded because it was just me, him. We're both poor, and we were watching the bar. It was a very exclusive place. Anyway, some point toward the end of the night, I went into the kitchen area and found myself a cream puff. And I came out eating the cream puff. And we're getting ready to leave, and he was loaded. And he said, how did you get that cream puff? I want one. And I said, don't worry about it, because I smelled trouble.
Yeah.
I knew he'd go back and urinate in the refrigerator, get caught on video camera or something, and I'd be in trouble for it. Don't worry about it. All right. Packed stuff up, packed up all the equipment, got back, went home, went to bed, 4 in the morning, get a call from the boss about 9 the following morning. What do you know about cream puffs? Now my mind's racing. Because, You're trying to think. Do you come clean? How much do they know? Cream puffs. Maybe I had one. Art. I'm not sure. Why? Because I found a case of them stuffed in the solution tank. He decided he was going to smuggle a case of cream puffs out of this restaurant by shoving it into the solution. There's like a hatch on these steam cleaners, and smuggle it, and then we'd eat them in the van. But the problem is he was so goddamn loaded, he shoved them into the thing, and then the boss, the following day, when he was cleaning out the van, found an entire case of cream puff stuffed in it. Oh, boy. I should really write a book on carpet cleaning, Drew. Crystal, 21.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi, Adam. Hi, Drew.
Hey, Crystal.
You have a great show.
Thank you.
Yeah, my problem is that I have a problem with being the perfect child in my family's eyes. And I just want to know how I can overcome that.
What kind of problems are you having?
Prostitution and drugs.
No.
That's the only way out.
What kind of problems are you having as a result of that?
Well, I can tell you that as I was growing up, my family would boast a lot to people, the family members and everything, about how good I was and how smart and how pretty, that kind of thing. So it kind of stuck with me, and it gives me pressures.
Is it that you can't live up to these expectations, or is it you're consistently making yourself miserable by living up to them and beyond?
I think I can live up to them. It's just like when I put on maybe 5 pounds or something, I get a little bit obsessive.
Right.
My grades are, 4.0, that kind of stuff. I got into the best school, that kind of thing. But sometimes it's just really hard to keep that standard.
How do you feel about yourself in reality?
I just wish I could relax a little, and I don't feel like I can. So I just need a new mindset. Basically.
You ever had a relationship?
Oh yeah.
And how have those been?
Well, I had a 3-year relationship. I guess pretty normal. I'm loved by people I know. I surround myself with people who love me.
But can you accept that in a meaningful way? I mean, do you believe that they do? Do you accept that, or do you just need that constant reassurance and approval to sort of prop up the kind of the sense of yourself that you use to interact with the world?
Perhaps.
Yeah.
I think that could be right.
How do you feel about yourself ultimately? Bottom line.
I like myself, but there are certain things like my weight. I mean, I'm not fat. The 5 pounds will get me. And if I get a B in school, I go, oh my gosh, what happened? What could you that kind of thing. So
the relationships you've had, did the relationships get a little bit, I don't know, were you not getting your way in the relationship, so to speak?
My way.
Were you happy? Were your needs constantly being met? Was the guy concerned about you, or were you busy meeting his needs?
I think, that went 2 ways, I think. He was meeting my needs and I was meeting his up until the time when we grew apart. So I think that was fine. And like I said before, I try not to surround myself with people who treat me badly.
Mm-hmm. All right, Crystal.
Anyway.
You know what's going on. Nah, there's no magic advice.
Well,
your parents kind of put the screws to you, and there's 2 big mistakes parents can make. They got to walk a fine line. I was sort of ignored as a child, which ends up screwing with the kid. You and Drew over here had too much pressure put on them by the parents, and that can screw you up. Ultimately, your way's a better way to go.
Well, I don't know about that because I'm
believe me, you're getting A's.
Here's the more fundamental issue, though, is that the fact that your parents did this to you says something about the nature of the personalities of your parents, and that they really don't acknowledge you as a separate person. They see you more as an extension of themselves.
It's kind of funny how parents go from the most, when you're a kid, especially a small child, your parents are Nostradamus and Socrates, all rolled up into one. Even if the guy is driving a forklift for Builder's Emporium and an alcoholic, when you're 5, Pops is Pops. Yeah. I mean, and it is weird. You build them up into much bigger. They're almost deities naturally. Then there comes a point when you get to my age where you look at your parents as pathetic idiots, and you won't listen to a word they say. If my mom opens her mouth, my ears close. When her mouth, I have my mouth timed to my ears. I'm sorry, timed to her mouth. When her mouth opens, my ears shut.
It's instant. It's amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah, but it is true that you'll not hear a word your parents say now, and you label them as, oh, man, were they screwed up.
But she can't do that now. She still has these internalized...
She's a little in between.
Well, but she's still... Right. She's not that bad, right? Really, because she knows this stuff's going on. She's had good relationships and things.
Sure.
But she still has these internalized notions of her parents that still beat on her and beat her up and keep her from feeling good about herself more realistically.
Well, it'll serve her well until the breakdown.
It may not. And maybe she'll get in some good relationships. It'll help her nurture.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It'll keep her. She'll have good grades. She'll be successful. These are people who are successful.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just get a little therapy. You'll be fine. And when you're successful, you can afford it. David, 24.
Hey, Adam. Hey, Dr. Drew. How are you?
David. Good.
Good. Listen, this is going to sound like a really bizarre question, but it is for real. Are you familiar with a skin tag?
Sure.
Okay. Right. So I had one, and it was on my penis.
Skin tags on the penis are usually warts.
Okay, right.
What's the difference between a wart and a tag?
This is a tag.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know what to compare it to.
Sure, I can't see
I've
you.
never had warts.
Hold on a second. I'm looking at Drew's tag.
Tag right there.
Yeah, it's like a mole.
It's like a mole that's on a flap.
Yeah, but it's like really small, and it's like...
that's a wart. Really, warts look just like tags on the genitals sometimes.
Wait a minute. It's like a mole, but what?
But what?
It's between a freckle and a mole?
But it's pedunculated. It's on a little stalk.
But it's not like...
Yeah, but yours isn't pedunculated.
Yeah, it is.
I'm looking at Drew's penis right now. That's why I'm laughing. Yeah, I know, but some really like flap over.
Yeah, some can be huge.
I mean, some of you actually see that chrome outline of the busty woman you see at the on the trucker's mud flaps. Yours is not pedunculated.
Not significantly so.
No.
Well, mine was really small. I mean, mine was just like, the size of like a pinhead or something, but it was there, and like I noticed it, and it bothered me. So
how long has it been there?
I'd say like 6 months or so.
I'll tell you something. Those are warts. That's what the warts, the genital warts look like skin tags sometimes.
All right. Well, it bothered me so much I like nipped it with the fingernail clippers.
Yeah.
And well, essentially, what I really just wanted to know was like, if it really was indeed a skin tag, like, where did those things come from? And like,
skin tags are just
way to get rid of them.
They're just small, just like moles. Same idea as a mole, and they're usually in areas of the wait. I got to talk about usually areas of skin where there are folds. But on the genitals, when it looks like a tag, that is a genital wart that is contagious, and in women that can increase the risk of cervical cancer.
Why don't you get tags on your penis? Because they're never exposed to sunlight?
You just don't get. I mean, I've never seen a genuine tag there. No. I'm sure it happens.
How many penises do you look at a day?
People come to doctors and
how many penises would you say? Don't give me a number of penises, but I want to talk in lineal feet. How many lineal feet of peni have you witnessed in your life? Would you say?
My career?
Yeah, your career. Let's say it'd be like 2 or 3 penises per foot. How many penises? I'll do the math. How many penises have you seen in your career? Well, let's take it by...
Wait, let's do about 3 times...
Well, how many penises do you see on an average month?
Probably about 60 a month. Like
60 penises a month?
Yeah.
Marilyn Chambers didn't see 60 penises a month.
40. I mean, you do physical exam on somebody.
Okay, so you have 40 penises a month. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, let's say when a penis is flaccid, let's just call it 4 inches. I know it's a little bit less, but I'm guessing guys chub up a little to see the doc. I know I do. So let's say 3 penises a foot. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you're looking at about 13.3 penises, 13.3 feet a month.
Yeah.
Okay, and how many years now?
It's about 10 years.
Okay, so let's just do times 12 here
Times
for a second.
120.
Times 120?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to work this out. When we get back from the commercial, we'll find out how many lineal feet of penis Dr. Drew has looked at over his lengthy career.
I began to float up and away from my body.
Lady, you better get back here. If you're not here when LoveLine returns, they're going to be pissed.
Float.
WEBN.
Hey everyone, this is Tommy.
And Pamela Lee.
And you're listening to LoveLine with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. all the sexual information you could possibly need.
Yeah.
Look at them. They're both happy.
That night.
Oh, yes. Well, they're still together, aren't they?
Are they? They're back together? Weren't they apart?
I think
for a while?
they are. She's pregnant again.
Wow.
Bet it comes out looking like Drew. Phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. Screw that fax number. All right, I'm Adam Carolla. That's Dr. Drew. The final tally is in, and it turns out that Dr. Drew has looked at, well, I got it even here at 1,600 feet of penis in his day. That's lineal feet, by the way. So lineal feet just means if you buy something by the lineal foot, it is what it is, meaning if you bought licorice by the lineal foot and you bought 2 feet, you'd pay for 2 feet. There's something else called the board foot in carpentry, meaning you couldn't sell 1 by 2 or 1 by 8 at the same price. You couldn't buy it lineally because you have to count for the width.
The type of board.
The width of the board.
Right.
Wouldn't be fair, but we're not accounting for girth here. So over a quarter mile of penis in a relatively short career. I mean, you're still young. That's an achievement.
Gee, thank you.
You combine that with Susan, and you guys have more than a mile of penis.
I love schlong.
All right, she's coming after me. You didn't understand that anyway. Ariane.
Hi.
Is that how you say it?
Ariane.
Ariane.
Yeah.
There, you're 15.
Okay, yes, I am. I have 2 questions, one really big one and a little one, and I'll start with the little one. I got my tongue pierced on Friday, and it didn't hurt at all, but the next day it really hurt, and it kind of, it swelled a little bit, but not much. And then today, a whole bunch of blood and pus came out, and I was just wondering if that was normal.
No.
Oh, sure.
Not normal.
Well, it's normal. I mean, if you think about it, if you jabbed something that actually went from one end and came out the other on your tongue, you would assume that would happen, wouldn't you, Drew?
It's not unreasonable, that's for sure. Have you been doing the kind of care they told you to do with it?
Yeah, I've been washing my mouth out and everything.
You got to call these people right away, because it sounds to me like you should be on some antibiotics. I mean, I cannot imagine that you wouldn't need that.
Okay.
Okay. That's not what it says up here on our board, though, about what you're up to.
What's it say?
It says she's running away with her boyfriend.
Yeah, that's the big question.
Can you stop at the pharmacy while you're running away?
Yeah, that's actually what I was thinking of doing.
Hey, how did you get your tongue pierced? I mean, what place did it? Because you're underage and all.
I know someone who is a friend of a friend.
Another one.
You know, this is so bizarre. Hold on a second. I was thinking back to my days of buying beer at 15.
Right.
And standing out front of some liquor store and saying to some dude, usually a guy named Kurt, guys named Kurt who were like 21, 22, 23, they understood the 15-year-old mentality. It was just a few years ago that they were waiting out front for you to buy him beer. And, you give him $10 and he'd come back with 5 Mickey's Big Mouths and no change and tell you, what we're going to do. And you'd scurry over the park and drink those things with a puss on because it tasted horribly. But the point is this is like the 90s version of waiting out front of the liquor store for a guy named Kurt to come along in a van to buy you some beer. This is the 15-year-old knowing somebody to get him the piercing.
Oh, yeah.
At at least theoretically a reputable place. All right, so where are you running away with your boyfriend?
Well, actually, the question is earlier this summer I was thinking of running away, by myself, or actually with a friend, and because we were just too upset with our family lives. And then
what was the problem with your family life?
Well, my problem is my mom is moving away, and I have to stay here with my dad, and I do not get along with him at all. And
what's happening between you and your dad?
Basically from my childhood. I mean, I used to be physically abused, and now I'm just emotionally abused all the time.
All right. I mean, parents out there, listen carefully. Ariane is characteristic of people that choose to leave home and stay away from home. If things are abusive in the home, particularly physically abusive, kids don't hang out for that. They leave.
Eventually.
Yeah.
They do when they're, 8, 9 years old, but by the time they get to 14, 15, they're ready to go.
Yeah. Well,
where are you going to go?
Well, I was going to follow this tour with a band, and
Oh, that makes sense.
yeah.
Oh, what tour?
I don't think I should be saying that over the air.
Up with people?
No.
Serendipity singers?
No.
I'm out of ideas, Drew.
No.
Lollapalooza?
No, unfortunately, that we couldn't get on that one.
How do you get on the tour?
Again, we know someone who knows someone.
Holy, how do you know so many people at 15? When I was 15, I knew my neighbor and my left hand.
But when you've been abused, you're thinking about finding ways out.
And do you work on the tour?
Yeah, I would be. Probably.
Like roadie or something?
Yeah, something like that.
That's an interesting way to run away.
Yeah, keeps you busy.
Yeah. Well, listen, I don't like the idea of anyone running away, but if your dad's abusive, what are you going to do?
Well, how about calling Child Protective Services, that sort of thing? I mean, there are services out there for you. I mean, usually the kids that run away end up on the street, Adam,
selling themselves.
Right. I mean, how do you survive at 15? It's very difficult.
Just starting a band. Yeah, I mean, she's following a tour.
Usually running away is worse.
It's kind of sad, but true. Are you prepared for that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's why I decided not to, because I thought it'd be, because things actually started getting better around here.
Well, how old's your boyfriend?
15.
Oh, really? What's his story?
Well, I don't know. He has, like, a long history of drug use. I mean, he was, like, 7, and he's...
Is he in some kind of recovery now?
Dealer. Well, he was in a 2-month recovery, but he called me tonight, completely drunk and stoned.
Okay,
and
you don't run away with a loaded addict who's never had any sustained sobriety since he was a child. I mean, that is somebody who is very disturbed. I mean, it's long, hard work for him to get going. A year of sobriety at least before you even should be in a relationship with someone like that, I'm sorry to say.
You got to run away with people who can at least read a map.
Well, that you can rely on, who can have a relationship, who's awake, or at least their brain is functioning.
Plus, they're spending money. You should be going toward McDonald's on drugs.
Well, but and eventually, if he's really mad, he will go to any lengths.
You're prostituting.
Yeah,
he will become your pimp. All right, this is a horrible idea. This running away. Drew, give her a number she can call.
Okay. You ready?
How come I had to tell you to do that?
Not yet.
Okay, get a pen.
You don't really want to worry. Believe me, this is trouble. You're going to get raped before you even get down your street.
Ready?
Just about. Okay.
Two numbers, both 800 numbers.
Okay.
One is 422-4453, 422-4453.
Okay.
And the other is 522-8336. 522-8336, and they've got people right now who can talk with you about this stuff.
Please call them. Really, you'll run away, you'll become a statistic. You'll get raped, you'll get pregnant. Am I right, Drew?
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
Okay. Ed, 21.
Hi, Adam. Hi, Drew. How you guys doing?
Good.
All right. Here's my problem. I'll get to the point, and I'll keep it short. I had a 19-year-old girlfriend, been going out for over a year, and everything went great. She really loves me, and I care about her a lot. And just recently, I just started, maybe not recently, past couple months, I started having the feeling that I want to date other people. I want to kind of look around and see what else is out there. Just getting like a restless feeling. So I broke up with her a few nights ago, and she took it really hard, and I really care about her, and I told her the reason why I did, and I guess my question is, I want to keep her in my life.
Nope.
I want friendship.
No, that's cruel. That's cruel and unusual punishment for her. Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
So that's unrealistic of me to...
It's not just unrealistic, it's painful.
Well, it's noble in the sense that, it's coming from a good place.
It's nice that it's nice that you want to be connected with her. It's not nice that you're not tuned in enough and understand enough what her feelings are to be concerned with those ahead of your need to be connected with her and not feel guilty.
Ed.
She needs to get over this, mourn it, lose it, and get on with her life. And that's what you need to let her do. Not kind of keep her on a little short leash there and keep her contained where she needs to be so you feel good.
Oh, please, Drew. Don't turn him into Mussolini all of a sudden. He's just, throwing her a bone. And getting on with her life includes having sex with your best friend, so be prepared for that. Ed.
Yes.
Did you give her my favorite breakup line, which is, it's not you, it's me. I don't like you.
Half right. I said it's not you, but I just can't help feeling the way I do, and I care about you a lot.
It's not you, it's all your friends I want to have sex with.
Ed, it's normal for your age. It's age-appropriate behavior, but let it go. If there's a time when this relationship is meant to come back and get together and happen, it will happen. But it's an important thing for guys to do sometimes.
Elizabeth.
Hi.
Hey, you're 25.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
I have a really big problem. I work with somebody, and he had been hitting on me for a long time, always asking me out, and just saying stuff like, oh, we'd have beautiful kids together, and I would always turn him down because I wasn't interested with him.
That is a manipulative line for a guy to use, isn't it?
Yeah, and number
no,
two,
think about that.
Well, maybe he's thinking about artificial insemination.
That is true, but that is really manipulative. I've never heard of a guy using quite that manipulative of a line.
Well, he doesn't take no for an answer, and he's very clingy.
Think about that.
Hold on, I got to write that one down because Drew hates it so much. It must be good. Wait, we'd have beautiful children?
Yeah.
Because what guy do you know when he gets into a relationship is thinking about children?
I know, but this
wait a minute, Adam.
Nobody.
Okay. But all women are, and so he's just playing upon
that. Well, not all women,
Last thing on my mind at this time.
But women are very easily brought to that issue. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but it's just code for I want to boff you.
It's not for a woman.
Oh, Drew, please. You're more condescending than the guys using the lines, for Christ's sake. Am I right, Ann? Thank you. All right.
You shook your head yes?
She wasn't listening, but she knew. She knows when I look at her and say, am I right, Ann? Yes.
Right.
All right, so what's going on?
So, anyways, he was always asking me to go have a drink with him after work, and I always said no, I wasn't interested. And so finally I said yeah, just as friends. So we go and we have a drink, and actually had 3. And it was just like 2 glasses of wine and I don't know what else. But it was something really simple and light, and I had eaten. And we were there with another girl, and we were driving. I was taking him home because he doesn't have a car. And he decided, let's go to this little hole in the wall. So I went and I had another drink. Well, after that, it's almost as if I died because I don't remember anything from that point on. I ended up waking up in his bed. He was on top of me. He was having sex with me. And at that point in time, I didn't know what to do because I couldn't move my legs or my arms. And it was like a touch of a state of being paralyzed or paralysis or whatever.
Sure.
And I was totally in shock. So.
Well, it sounds like you've been medicated before that too. So.
You think so?
It sounds like it.
Hey, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
I know this is an inopportune time to go to a break, but the problem is we got to go to a break.
That's okay.
We're going to keep dealing with this.
Oh yeah. You can get yourself some Kleenex, have a glass of warm Bosco, compose yourself. Although the crying is good radio, so see if you can get back. No. The crying is huge rating, so we'll see.
Send me a check.
We just want to get back in touch with that emotion in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Thanks.
All right, we'll be back with Elizabeth and her story of rape after this.
Why don't you try rapping at this time?
Yo, kick some favorite stuff in LoveLine. I'll be right back in a minute.
I'm sorry, that was really bad.
You're just not street like me.
WEBN.
Hi, this is David Spade, and when I'm driving around listening to the radio, if there's absolutely nothing on any other station, I listen to LoveLine with Adam and Drew, because I'm naughty.
All right. Hey, that band, Real Big Fish, will be in here on Thursday. And we're running a little bit late, so Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew will be back in 10 seconds.
This is LoveLine on
Radio
Station.
We're the G spot on your radio dial.
Oh, you're right there.
LoveLine on 102.7.
Oh.
WEBN, Cincinnati.
All right, Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew. The show is LoveLine. Best damn show on radio. Phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. Now, when we left off, we were speaking to Elizabeth. Elizabeth is 25. There was a guy who was a coworker who was sort of one of those creepy guys at work, coming on to her, talking about how beautiful their kids would be, so on and so forth, giving her the creeps, as she said it. But yet, she agreed to go out for a drink with him. And she's very upset because the guy ended up raping her. But
and maybe drugging her, too.
Or maybe drugging and raping her. But the lesson here is, ladies, and we'll get back to Elizabeth in a second. When a guy's creepy for a while at work and then somehow nicens up a little and says, let's just get a drink, that is just a change. It's a maneuver. He's changing tactics. A lot of guys will try the creep thing first just to see if it works because it's easy.
Right, it's a more honest approach.
Yeah, they'll go right up to someone. Hey, I did first night I met Ann. Hey, how about you blow me? But she scoffed at that.
Wonder why you guys have never gotten along.
I put Plan B into action. I've been wearing her down like the tide. You see what I'm saying?
You are wearing her down.
Yeah, bought her a nice salad bowl for her birthday. That's gonna pay dividends. That was a sexual investment, Ann. That was not a birthday present.
Drew was in on that, though.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize
he's getting some, too.
Master plan I was involved with,
yeah. I brought you right into my little web of deceit, Drew.
Indeed you did.
All right, Elizabeth.
Hi.
Okay, so the pig from work. Now, what kind of place do you work at?
Well, it's a sports bar.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Downtown, and it's a really classy place.
Where do you live? What city?
Well, I live mid-Wilshire, near downtown.
Oh, okay.
Los Angeles.
All right. And what's this guy? Is a bartender or manager or something?
A bartender.
Okay.
But he's a total loser. I knew it from the beginning. And the reason I went out with him is because I thought, what's the harm? I'm going to work with him. What's the big deal? And I told him before we went out, I didn't want anything to do with him more than what, working relationship entails. And I told him. So he knew.
Okay. Right, but yet you went out for a drink with him, which is not your fault. But I'm just saying, in a pig's mind, that is one step closer.
Right.
All right. So you went out. You had a few drinks.
Right.
But maybe just 3 or 4.
Yeah, and I know my tolerance.
And you was on an empty stomach, but yet you've drank more than that.
No, it wasn't on an empty stomach.
Oh, I thought you said you hadn't eaten.
No, I said I had eaten.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, and you working at a sports bar know what you can handle.
Right, and I don't drink often, but I did eat before I went to work.
Okay, so
but you've never had this kind of reaction to alcohol before?
Never. That's just the thing. Usually when you drink and you get drunk, you're still conscious. You know what I mean?
So you have and you weren't even that drunk as far as you know.
Right.
So your suspicion is he slipped something in or hypnol or something.
Right, and the problem has escalated because after that happened, I support myself and I'm by myself here in LA, and I need my job, so I figured I'm just going to put this behind me and move on. And now it's like if I get in a relationship, like I was dating this one lawyer, and I was kind of good friends with another one that he knows. If I'm in a relationship, friendly or seeing these people, he will threaten me that he's going to tell them about that one night, and then he goes and harasses them and says who wears the pants in the relationship, and he gives me a really hard time at work where he makes my job very difficult.
Why do you stand up to that kind of abuse? I mean, why don't you stand up?
Because my manager and him are really good friends.
But no. I mean, let him go ahead and tell into these relationships. Welcome it. Because he opens himself. If he admits to that, he's opening himself up to an opportunity.
Well, he's not going to say slipped her a roofie and raped her. He's going to say she's loose.
Exactly, that's what's happened. I told him, either shut up or I'm going to tell these people, exactly what did happen. He goes, what? That I raped you? He goes, I never raped you. And so now a friend of mine, who's a friend of his, hates me, and just recently called me a big mouth effing bitch, and now I'm looking like someone who's crying wolf. And at the same time, I'm starting to get depressed. I'm becoming unstable, and I'm just falling apart. And it's so unlike me because I try my best.
Have you ever been raped any other time in your life?
No.
Never.
Never.
You never abused or anything like that when you were growing
Well,
up?
my father was very emotionally abusive.
Okay.
So I don't get in too many relationships. It's very hard for me.
But somehow this guy knew you were a victim. He knew he could make a victim of you, and he's still doing it.
I'm sorry?
Somehow this guy knew he could make a victim of you, and he's still doing it.
I think this is the way he thinks he has control over me.
Well, he does, doesn't he? He's doing
at
it.
this point now, I'm breaking down, yeah.
Well, it's not meant to break down. He's getting his way. He's victimizing you very effectively.
Right. So now people are turning against me, and my manager knows. I told him what I believed happened, and because when this guy, I'll call him Matt, that may be his real name, when he was doing this to me, I told my manager, look, he's giving me a hard time. He ignores me. He's not making my drinks. He's doing everything in his power to make my life hell, because I told him that was never a date, to forget about it and quit telling people. And that's when he was an asshole. I told my manager.
Hold on, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
How long ago did this happen?
A month.
It's been a month.
It's been a month.
All right, and
I just don't know what to do.
All right, I'll tell you what to do. Realistically, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's going to be any charges brought against Matt.
Yeah, I mean, really,
right?
the thing to do once it's just for everybody else.
It's been a month.
Yeah.
Where was the third person when you guys went out and had drinks with them?
She was someone that just happened to be there.
What happened to her?
Well, she's friends with him, but I guess they went out. She's not friends with him anymore, and I plan to do a little investigating and asking her why.
Well, it's been a month.
It's been a month. I don't know what the statute is on this.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're going to plan on doing some snooping, it would have been, a few days after it happened, not a month.
With who, that girl?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, here's what I'm saying.
Point?
All right, here's my point. This is never going to come into a court of law. I'm not saying because it's right or because it's wrong. I'm just saying realistically, it's been a month, and it ain't going to happen.
Right.
For anyone else, the thing to do is immediately go out and get something called a forensic examination. You go to an emergency room, they collect the information about what happened, they collect the physical evidence, then you have a case against a guy like this.
Right.
Okay. The guy is an a-hole, and I know it sounds sort of pathetic, but he will have to live with inside the skin of an a-hole his entire life.
I think he's used to it because he.
Yeah, but all right. But listen, here's the point, Elizabeth. I think you're going to have to find a new place to work. I really do.
I do too. It sounds like a very unhealthy
This
place.
guy is scary. He's dangerous. He's turned a few other people at work against you. There's a lot of sewage under the bridge. It's sort of too late to bring legal action against him. I know I know you shouldn't be looking for a new job, but because this guy's the criminal. But realistically, I think if you could just sort of put this behind you, I don't see how you can show up with this guy at work every day and count on him to mix you drinks,
or at least begin the process of looking for work. Look every day, make it part of your job. You go out, and you will find a new job. I mean, there's
you're cocktailing at a sports bar, for Christ's sake. Of course, you can find a new job,
right?
I mean, I don't want to minimize what's happened to you. I'm just saying, if you're not going to do anything about it, you got to get out of there.
I don't see.
I think you got to get out of there anyway.
Because unless there's somebody.
Either you get him out of there or you get out of there.
And the only way he's going to get out of there is if there's legal action taken.
And it's been a month, and it seems like he has more friends than Elizabeth
I suppose she can make one last ditch effort by talking to the management, but it sounds like the management is not too healthy there either, because they're sort of siding with they're splitting with employees in all this chaos. They're siding with one or the other. It's bad management to do that.
He's got to get out of there.
Yeah.
All right. Mike, 25.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
And don't worry, everyone. Hold on, Mike. We all will have our day. And I'm not talking about in front of the pearly gates. I'm not talking about with St. Peter or the Maker. If you rape, you're a rapist. If you cheat, you're a cheater.
Right.
If you steal, you're a thief. And that is your life.
Right, that's who you are.
I don't care how goddamn happy you say you are a thief, and that is your life, and you're miserable. I don't care how much you steal or if you ever get caught. you're a thief. And you know it. This guy's a rapist. That is his life. That is his karma. That is his life. Mike, 25.
Hey.
Hey.
About a month ago, I took a trip to Texas. I smoked some belladonnas.
Was it all-female black singing group? What is that, belladonna?
It's belladonna flowers.
Yeah, it's antispasmodic, sort of, if I remember right, like we call it an atropine-like drug. It has certain pharmacological effects. Can have caused hallucinations.
Well, doesn't sound like it's done you any damage, Mike.
Well, about a week ago, I took a couple hits of LSD 25. Now it's like a week later. I'm not really tripping, but I've pretty much been seeing trails, and then that slow after effect.
Do you feel like you're sort of still in a dream state, like you're a little detached from reality?
Well, the buzz that you get after you come down off your trip, I've pretty much been in that for a couple days.
Okay.
I've stopped smoking marijuana since then.
But you still feel kind of locked into your trip a little bit.
Yeah.
You're getting kind of anxious about that?
Huh?
Are you feeling kind of nervous about that?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know.
Mike, this is the deal. This is called a post-hallucinogenic perceptual disorder. It's a relatively common syndrome that happens. It can happen after any exposure to LSD. Typically, it's after people have been exposed a few times, and then all of a sudden, they don't come down. And you don't come down, and you don't come down. And this can go on for weeks to months. Eventually, people start getting panicky and depressed about being locked in. It's caused by a brain damage. And the trailers will be permanent, and there routinely is permanent mood disturbances.
Now you're really bumming his high.
It is important that you see a psychiatrist immediately who is used to dealing with this syndrome. LSD is a terribly dangerous drug, and this is one of the more common complications.
What is that belladonna stuff?
It's another.
Is it flowers?
No, it's used for like irritable bowel syndrome and stuff, or bowel spasm.
How do you take it?
I don't know.
You smoke it?
That's what he said. I've never heard of that.
Hold on.
Interesting.
Mike?
Yeah.
Did you smoke it?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't think. I'm not sure the belladonna had anything to do with this, though.
All right. I'm starting to see trailers now. All right, let's talk to Kelsey, 29. Kelsey?
Yes, hi.
Hi.
I'm calling in regards to the conversation where, Adam, you said that it's too late now to press charges and blah, blah, blah. Well, I had a similar situation happen to me where I worked with a former boyfriend of mine, and we broke up, and he attacked me, and I did not press charges, although I reported it to the police, and the state pressed charges. So for you to tell that lady that it is too late to press charges is wrong.
Well,
because the state will press charges for her.
How long after the attack did you report it to the police?
Not very, maybe a day or so after, but
okay,
still,
but this has been a month.
The state, all she has to do is make a report to the police, and then the state will press charges for her.
All right, but do you think the state would be as apt to press charges if she said it was a month ago, I went out for drinks with a guy I worked with?
Will. The prosecuting attorney for the prosecutor's office will do that.
Okay.
At least they did for me.
Okay.
Kelsey.
That was in Washington State and Seattle.
Okay. But they don't have real crime over there. Here.
Oh, really?
Someone stole the baby Jesus from the church nativity scene again.
No, I'm serious, though. I mean, I did not even know they were going to press charges.
All right, well,
I
good.
just reported it.
Good for them.
And then I got a subpoena to appear in court, and I was a witness for the state. I was not even pressing charges myself.
I got to move to Washington.
The state did it.
Kelsey.
Yes.
I have a couple of questions. At first, let me just clarify my position.
Right.
I think the guy's a criminal. I did not want to dissuade her from pressing charges.
But I'm telling
it just sounded. Hold on, Kelsey. It sounded to me as if she didn't have any interest in it because I said, like, what happened to that third girl you were out with that evening? And she said, yeah, I'm going to talk to her.
I'll check it out someday.
I'll check it out someday. And it had been a month. So what I was basically telling her, I had sussed out that she wasn't going to press charges. So I said, just quit the job, move on, and put it behind you, because it didn't sound like she wanted to. I didn't tell her it was beyond the statute of limitations. I'm not a lawyer. Otherwise, Drew would kick my ass. And I didn't know what was going on. And I do hope that she presses charges.
Absolutely.
But it didn't sound like she was going to.
She can legally just make a...
All right, file a report.
File it, and the state will do it for her.
All right, but I'm telling you, things may be a little different out here.
Well, out here, where are you?
We live in Dodge City.
You're on the West Coast, too.
We live in Tombstone. Drew and I are meeting
I had no idea it worked like that, and I didn't even know when I made the complaint that I was going to.
All right, well,
that the state would press charges, and the state did.
If she's listening, go ahead and go ahead and make that statement.
I'm sorry?
No, I'm talking to her now. She may be listening.
To Elizabeth.
Hello?
All right. Kelsey, did he smack you over the head first, or?
No, he started choking me and all kinds of things. It was very violent.
All right. Now, what happened to him?
He actually he was an immigrant and from Hungary, and
Oh, really?
he almost got deported. Actually,
He almost got deported?
yeah. And the judge told him to stay away from me. And
Almost got deported. Why didn't they deport a guy that was...
No, we need rapists.
Because it was, very extreme.
We're very low on Hungarian rapists.
Yeah, they were like, and the lawyers the public defenders they were horrible, actually. But
wait, Kelsey.
Huh?
Be quiet for a second.
Our phone's running out of battery.
Or is it mine?
Is it that, or you buy a cardiac monitor?
Is it my phone? Hello?
Hold on. Kelsey, are you buying a cardiac monitor?
No.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get on my other.
No, it's all right. We're done. We're done.
Done?
Yeah. All right,
Hello?
Kelsey. All right, for Christ's sake. Is it that your portable phone is running out of battery power? Or could you be by a crash cart or in some sort of ICU unit?
Right. That's what that sound is.
You are a doctor. You are a doctor through and through. You hear a beep, you thought it was a cardiac monitor.
That's the tone.
And when your wife fires up the blender, do you think there's some liposuction going on? Or like an angioplasty procedure going on in the kitchen? Or would you think it was a Cuisinart?
No, that I can hear the difference amongst.
Okay.
Not very well, but I can.
Kelsey didn't sound quite right for someone who had some pretty solid advice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we didn't get into it.
All right, let's forget about the source.
We shouldn't comment on people that we haven't really probed. It's not fair.
She don't need a probing. I just brush on her, and I got some weirdness coming off of Kelsey. But her advice is solid.
Yes.
You make the report, and
you're not suggesting
let the state
and you are not suggesting it was her fault that she was a victim of a violent crime.
No. Not in the least. I'm just saying she seemed a little off.
Yeah.
I don't know if she was that way before or what.
Let's go.
It's refreshing to hear about Hungarian guys raping, though. You rarely hear about those Hungarian gangs. Oh, boy, would my grandfather be upset, From Hungary.
He's famous. His brother was famous. Anyway.
Bela. Yes. Very, very famous writer over there. Drew. We're sitting in a restaurant, and Drew got paged, and Drew had to call... how old was that patient who paged you?
89.
89. Yeah. And where was she from?
Hungary.
And I yelled across the table at Drew. I knew this woman is older than sand, and she's from Hungary. That my grandfather's, Lazzi, his brother Bela from Hungary, was a very famous writer in Hungary. And I yelled across the table at Drew, say Bela Gorog. And Drew said it, and she was, what was her reaction?
She goes, oh, yes, oh, yeah. What about him? Like, what? Where did that come from?
But she knew him, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Too bad he's not related to me by blood. My blood grandfather's an alcoholic short order cook who died of liver cancer some years ago. Guy, 22.
Guy?
How you doing?
All right. What's going on?
Okay, I'm not sure if there's a problem. I got a question for the doc.
Yeah.
22 years old, and I'm very attracted to my mother.
All right, that's all we need to hear. Hold on a second, Guy. We're going to go to break. You're very attracted to your mother at 22. And we will sort through your emotional hamper, as it were, when we return.
People of Earth, we were going to help you. Yeah, we were. But you don't need our help. No, you don't. You have LoveLine, and you're a bunch of sickos.
This is Mission Control. LoveLine will be right back.
Hey there, this is Florence Henderson. Remember me? Well, you're listening to LoveLine.
Yes, you are. Hey, Drew's back, everybody. LoveLine. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. Phone number, huh?
Sorting out your schedule.
What's that mean?
We have to go do we're going to the Midwest in the end of August, right?
Uh-huh.
And we're going to figure out where we're going to broadcast from when we're out there.
Oh, okay. 1-800-LOVE-191 is the phone number. And Guy.
Yes.
22-year-old Guy. Having sexual thoughts about his mother.
Yes. It's kind of ironic you just had that dad commercial, because that's where the problem all begins.
What?
When I was 4 years old, my dad died.
Yeah.
I only had my mom to raise me.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it all starts, is she's like a role model to me and everything. And
so you're just overly involved with her.
It's going crazy now, because I think about her constantly. And like...
What's the quality of your relationship with her now?
Real good. I still live at home with her in California. We were out in the...
Well, I mean, does she tempt you by wearing, like, I don't know if my mom wears like a tight apron or something.
Is it a sexual thing?
Well, she's a very attractive woman. She kind of looks like Suzanne Summers. She used to be a stripper. That's the thing. I don't know.
Is it?
I wonder how his boundaries got screwed up.
Yeah, right. Is it a sexual thing?
Yes, it is, because I dated, I date older women. I dated one of my friend, Matt, his mom, and she did nothing for me because she kind of looks like my mom, but she doesn't act exactly like my mom. I don't know if it's just my mom that I want or what it is.
Well, even if, even if you're toying with the idea, in your drunkenest stupor, if you even toy with the idea of sexualizing your mother, there's something up in a big way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as you put it, it's the boundary issues. And
have you ever rented any of the Taboo movies, Guy? Taboo 1, Taboo 2?
No, the pornos, they don't really turn me on.
Yeah, but the whole Taboo theory and the whole plot line is that the guy, Junior, has got it in for his mom. I'm just saying it might be a healthy outlet for you.
It's kind of sick. Even, like, for that lady, she did nothing for me. When I masturbate, I think about my mom.
Okay. That makes two of us.
If that's a problem...
It's a problem. It's a problem. I mean, it's an over-enmeshed relationship with your mom.
All right, do you think he's just pulling our chain here?
Well, he did mention a friend by name. That's where I got troubled by it. Remember, he said his friend Matt's mom, and that's kind of, already we got it's possibly bogus. But these kinds of things have been reported. I mean, it's not unheard of. And he chose the right psychological circumstance,
which was
the mom being a stripper. Because that mom, women that choose that sort of vocation often have boundary issues, and
they just sort of sexualize any man around them, or try to entice them.
There are issues with men, let's put it that way,
right.
and it gets acted out with the little boys sometimes, and and she may have been a very good mom, but her psychology was obviously not very healthy, and it sort of invaded him, and now the proof is in the pudding in terms of his inability to have a decent relationship.
Funny that she named him Guy.
It is interesting. See, it all fits enough to be real. Okay?
Right. And Guy hung up. So here's the deal. Don't have sex with your mom. And number 2, don't have sex with your mom. See, I just say it with a little different inflection, but it means the same thing, Drew.
Go out and have some relationships with people your own age and see what happens. Make an attempt to make connections with people and see if you can't find a way to disconnect a little bit from mom.
Eric, 14.
Hey, Adam, Drew, Patrick. How's it going?
It's good. Hey, how'd you like my movie?
I saw Outbreak, and I thought that was pretty good, but it was kind of corny.
Yeah, I was driving that van with the monkey.
Oh, stop. I can't even stand you. You're trying to do imitations. Go, Eric, what's the deal?
All right, this story is kind of tricky to follow, and it's late at night, so I'll just try to explain it the best way I can.
All right.
Okay, here goes. Let's see. A couple of years ago.
Hold on. Let me just say one thing to our guest, Patrick Dempsey. Patrick, shut the F up. If I hear one goddamn word out of that scrawny mouth of yours, I swear to God, I'll put my fist through it.
By the way, babe.
Oh, you're into Patrick? Oh, because you like those guys who are a little rough around the edges.
Yeah, all the girls in here were dying.
Oh, really?
He looks way hotter than he does.
On movies.
In the movies, yeah.
Are any of you guys into me at all?
Nope.
Oh, what is it? What is that?
We know you.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, Patrick's a nice-looking guy. And a nice guy as well. Eric.
All right, here's the deal. Like, a couple of years ago, I was pretty down because, my parents are abusive, and, well, they're just never supportive of me, and, well, I was pretty low on self-esteem.
Yeah.
So, there was this teacher that I had in junior high, and, well, she basically just kind of opened up to me, and she was very supportive of me. She was basically kind of my confidant, I guess, and so I could trust her, and, well, this relationship was nothing sexual or romantic, I guess, but it was just a really strong bond between two friends. And so, anyway, meanwhile, I was getting into kind of a bad crowd, and there was this kid, let's call him Joe, and he was kind of like this hard punk-ass kid, and I guess that I just didn't have that many friends back then because I was just kind of weird. And so, anyway, this...
Eric, the only reason I'm letting you go on this far is because I'm trying to figure out if Dr. Drew broke wind.
No, it wasn't me.
It wasn't you? I've been smelling gas in here all night.
No, it wasn't me.
Who else could it be?
It wasn't me. I don't smell it. I don't know what you're smelling.
But I heard a noise come from you.
No.
Like a groan.
Maybe my stomach or something. I was yawning.
Oh, was that a yawn?
Yeah.
All right, Eric, so what happened?
Well, but anyway, this kid just totally despised this teacher.
I don't know. Somebody's farting into the air duct then or something and pumping it in here. All right, Drew, you know something. Come on.
Honestly.
Come on. All right, off the air, you'll fess up.
There is something funny going on right now. Yeah, now it's coming that way to this.
Oh, please.
That's a strange. It's
been going on all night.
I didn't notice until you brought it up.
I was sniffing my pits like 20 minutes ago. Did you see that, Ann? I thought maybe it was emanating from me, in which case then I can just sit back and enjoy.
No, this is like
but
rotten eggs.
If I decipher it's not from me, then it's really painful.
No, it's like rotten eggs, like spoiled food or something.
Yeah, like is spoiled food coming out of your ass. No.
Eric, so what's the deal? Eric?
Okay, well, anyway, this kid who hates this teacher, I guess, and I guess that I just wanted to kind of appeal to him because he's a pretty popular kid. And so I did my research and stuff, and so I had, the anarchist cookbook, bad stuff going around, like how to make bombs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I gave him this, packet of information from that, and then...
Eric, you got about 10 more seconds to finish the story.
And then so I just gave him, information on, where she lived and her phone number and bad stuff. And so anyway, his mom found this stuff. And so she gave it to the school because she didn't know what to do with it. And the school caught me. And so they told this teacher I got in big trouble with the law and stuff. And
all right. Well, what are you going to do?
So
action have consequences.
Basically, my problem is right now that I'm basically drowning because I have no support.
Uh-huh.
So I never got to apologize because they...
You never got to apologize to the teacher?
Right.
All right, well, go apologize to the teacher.
I have no way of doing that.
I'm not sure she would accept.
And that's...
Send her a letter. You know her address, right?
Yeah, but
All right, please.
No, Eric is pretty desperate. I mean, it's good.
No, but I'm giving him the answer, and he doesn't want to listen. He has the address.
He what he doesn't want is to accept the consequences of his actions, and he that relationship is over. He has crossed a bridge that he cannot go back across.
Probably not.
There's something wrong with her if she really tries to rekindle this, because because he really needs to learn that actions have consequences.
All right, write a letter, make it a good one, send it to that address, tell her that you understand that you will not resume a relationship with her, and she will be delighted.
But you have an opportunity to develop another relationship. You learn that people can be trusted, even though it's hard for you to stay in that kind of relationship. You have to sabotage it, destroy it in some way.
Interesting.
Maybe next time you won't do that.
Okay.
So you can have another relationship with another human, and it can feel just as good.
Mason, 18.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
Listen, first, before I get to my problem, I want to say I love you guys. You guys are great, and I was wondering if you can get Greg Graffin from Bad Religion on anytime soon.
Yeah, we had him on.
Yeah, many times.
But yeah, I love hearing him.
Yeah, I do too.
He's great.
Yeah, you know what? I think we both went to the same junior high and stuff too.
Is that right?
Didn't we figure that out?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he grew up in North Hollywood, or he went to Walter Reed, or someplace I went. All right, Ann, make a note. Greg Graffin from Bad Religion.
Okay. Here's the problem. My girlfriend got kicked out of her house about 2 weeks ago. She was living up here in Sacramento, and now she's up in Seattle. And she's had a classic LoveLine girl's life. It's just like it's like the worst.
It's a new term.
Life I've ever heard
A
of.
LoveLine's kind of life.
Yeah.
A LoveLine girl's kind of life.
Right.
Right. It's replacing a dog's life.
Right.
Yeah, basically, and this is our relationship has been like the only non-abusive relationship that she's ever had.
That's going to drive her nuts.
It did, and
it's going to drive her to attack you.
Exactly why she's in Seattle right now.
She can't stay near you.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's subconscious, you know. She wants to stay with me.
Yeah.
But
that's what she says.
But what the problem is she's always been in an abusive situation.
Why do you need to be in a relationship with someone who's always been in an abusive relationship?
That beats the hell out of me.
Why do you cling? Do you think you're going to change her?
Yeah.
You're not.
I know.
You and a team of therapists and several $100,000 over the next 6 years.
Yes, that
I
could.
told her she has to get into therapy.
Does she want to?
Yeah, she said she wants to, but she has no money, and she's been in therapy before. And but her mom was real abusive.
We got her the picture on her. We want to know about you.
What's wrong with me?
Because we're talking to you, and we want to know why you need to be in this kind of relationship, and why you're clinging so much, and why you're idealizing her, and wanting to be something she isn't, and then insisting that you can fix her.
I don't know.
Well, that's an honest answer. What do you think would happen to you if you got hooked up with someone who didn't need any repairs?
Well, Jesus Christ, that'd be boring.
All right. So what happened to you growing up?
Nothing.
Perfect family.
You just need some excitement.
Wait. Perfect family.
No, hell no. My dad. I was grew up with a single mom.
Where was your dad?
He was an alcoholic, and my mom left him when I was like a year old.
Okay, when Adam says, what happened to you?
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff he's talking about.
I don't think of myself as a person when I was that young, so I'm sorry.
It's interesting. That's when the most, theoretically, that's when the most critical development is going on.
Well, you weren't a person, you were a sponge.
Yeah. You really, that's when the real critical stuff goes on.
Now the ringing begins. That's the way it works. You spend, here's how it works. All right, here's childhood, everyone. Get ready. You're like a sponge. Let's just say you're a mop. We'll compromise, say one of those sponge mops. And when you're born, it's like the first day you buy the mop from the thrifties or the supermarket or wherever you get it, right? It's pristine. There's nothing. There's no dirt. There's no mop and glow on you. There's no old grape soda that's spilled. There's nothing.
It's just the chemistry that is the mop.
Brand new mop.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you get home from the hospital, and mom and dad have a little blowout, and you mop that up. And there's a little mopping. There's mopping that goes on through your childhood. And as you get older, maybe 12, 13, 14, your mop becomes filled to capacity. It doesn't even want to even take anymore. There's not much room in there because you've been sucking it up. And now the ringing begins. The ringing starts maybe 14. And all that crap that had sat in that mop just starts coming out. And here's the problem. It's been in there for 10, 12 years. And let me tell you something. Eggnog mopped up 2 days later is bad, but eggnog from a Christmas 1984 really gets bad. And then the putrid mess comes out of you, and that's when it's time to go to the bucket of therapy. Am I right, Drew?
You're right. And
all right, make a note. This is brilliant.
It's brilliant. And,
Thank you.
And let me say it a little differently. That the first 2 to 6 years of
Look
life.
at the gallery, by the way, when I'm spewing out my brilliant repartee.
Are they alive?
Mike's got his hand in that position, or that old T-shirt of Stoned Again, where the guy had both his palms on his cheeks and his hand was kind of melting. His head was melting through his palms. And Sherry and Ann and Lisa are engaged in some sort of conversation that has nothing to do with this one.
Yeah.
All right, but go ahead.
That you spend the first 2 to 6 years of your life being a sponge, and the rest of your life acting out upon that.
Right.
Reenacting, acting out, sort of responding to how those drives and urges are been distorted by that, which was your childhood.
Okay. All right, Drew. Thanks for coasting us into a stop there.
Here's LoveLine before deworming. Here's LoveLine after getting fixed. Here's LoveLine chewing out its stitches. Here's LoveLine dragging its butt across the carpet. Bad LoveLine. Bad LoveLine.
LoveLine has been bad, and we'll be right back. WEBN.
Radio that keeps you up at night. It's LoveLine, only on WEBN.
Hey, this is Greg Graffin.
This is Brian Baker.
And we're from Bad Religion. And you're listening to LoveLine with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Oh, that engineer, Mike. He's golden. We should give him a raise before we fire him. All right, you are and it is. And here we go. Connie, 25.
Hi.
Hey.
Well, I don't know how to start all this. I was living with this guy for 5 years. He was emotionally abusive and alcoholic. We broke up about 2 months ago, and now we have this mutual friend who flirts with me really hard, and I'm really attracted to him, and I don't really know what to do because I don't want to set my ex off and have him come after me or something.
Mm-hmm. Are you attracted to the other guy? The new guy must be, he must drink twice as much and be twice as abusive.
Oh, no, he's totally the opposite. He doesn't even really drink.
Oh, really?
Socially, yeah.
So why are you attracted to him?
I think after 5 years I learned my lesson.
No, that's not usually the way it works.
How much did your dad drink?
No.
Mom?
My dad doesn't drink. My mom doesn't drink. I have a great uncle who was an alcoholic, but I didn't really grow up with him or anything.
We're wondering why you chose this boyfriend.
Why did you choose the abusive alcoholic guy? Is it okay just to be stupid on your own?
You can make mistakes.
I don't know. Maybe I'm sure there's some deep-seated psychological reason for it, but I don't know. My dad was kind of emotionally absent.
Could help.
What happened with him?
With my dad?
Yeah. Where was he?
Well, my parents divorced when I was very young. Although I had a pretty good relationship with him when I was younger, things really changed when I hit puberty.
And how about the guys that mom brought in? Did your mom bring any guys around?
Yeah, I have a stepdad.
And what was he like?
Anal, Catholic.
Very compulsive.
All right, so you really like this guy who's a good friend of your ex's. How much contact do you have with your ex?
Well, we tried to be friends at first, but
forget that.
Work. And I haven't talked to him for 6 weeks.
I'm wondering why you're even concerning yourself with conducting your life in such a way that it has any relation to him.
Well, your good friend, because the guy's volatile and she's scared she's going to set him off.
Yeah, but I mean, he should be out of your life. That's that.
His good friend is not going to tell him because he knows he's volatile too. Although I don't necessarily trust this good friend for being his good friend.
Although we know all about the best friend thing.
Yeah. Best friend always wants to get in the pants of the best friend's girlfriend.
I have to say that I wish that was true. Anyway.
I'm sure he will.
I've been friends with this guy who's my ex-boyfriend. We were friends for like 5 years before we got together.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of felt like I owed him that.
You don't owe him anything right now.
But no, since we fell out a couple weeks ago, I don't talk to him. I don't want to see him.
All right, good. Well, listen, it's been 6 weeks?
Yeah, since I talked to him. 2 months since we broke up.
All right. Well, go ahead. You have our blessing.
Okay.
Because here's the deal.
We just don't trust your choice.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you're making it.
Oh, okay. I think I'm smart.
Okay. It's got nothing to do with IQ, though. It has nothing to do with IQ.
Well, I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
I think that I
All right, but you're with an alcoholic abuser for 5 years.
It got worse and worse and worse and worse.
And then
so who's arguing?
And then you've chosen somebody right nearby, a friend of his, and you're still worried about what this guy's going to think. It's all very suspicious.
No, I don't care what he thinks. I know he'll be upset.
Why are you calling?
Because I don't want to will that set him off?
Yes.
So that's worrying about what he's going to think.
Okay. Well, I was thinking about it a different way, but you're right.
All right. Well, Connie, you sound all right. Although we really do question the fact that you're with the guy for 5 years, but all right, it happens.
Well, I was young.
Okay. All right, you've learned. All right.
But
carry on. Realize that you're on a pretty slippery slope here.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend you getting involved with someone who had no idea who this guy was and don't even tell him about him. But here's the good news. If the guy's volatile and he drinks a lot, his best friend is the last guy who wants him to find out that he's boffing the woman he's still in love with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So even though you guys have been broken up for 2 months, it's probably going to be a good 4 to 6 months before he finds out. Now, he will eventually find out.
Oh, yes.
Always do.
Yeah.
But if you're smart, you can maneuver it around for about 3 or 4 months. Then the story goes, whenever he finds out is the day you guys got together. If it's 15 years from now, that's the day you got together. So you can add that on to however far you guys were apart.
Right.
If you're broken up for 2 months and you're diddling for 4 months, then it was like 6 months. See what I'm saying, Drew?
Kind of.
Okay. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
I'm happy with a kind of. Kurt, 16.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Hey, I just had a quick question. Okay, can a woman still be a virgin and not have her hymen?
Yes.
Can they?
Yes.
And, how does that happen?
They tear spontaneously or maybe fall down, rip, that kind of thing. They can break down by themselves.
Okay, would they, know that?
Not necessarily.
Horseback riding. That's why the women rode side saddle.
Okay. So
know what I'm saying?
No big deal?
No big deal.
Cool. All right, thanks a lot.
All right,
bye.
I wonder if the horse was bummed out, though.
Jeez.
Oh, Christ, not another side saddle. Think about how dangerous that would be riding. It's like akin to riding a motorcycle side saddle.
Right.
I mean, with both legs on, one peg.
Oh, yeah, or a bicycle. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, except for eventually, you run out of steam.
Yes.
Listen, hold on, Drew. The whole reason I use motorcycle for example is because it's possible to do it on a motorcycle. Bicycle, the reason I didn't use a bicycle as an example.
The reason I was thinking bicycles, motorcycle seems like a too fast a vehicle to... But, all right, sorry. Let's get on with it.
It's like riding a moped.
It's light. All right, there you go.
Okay. See? Yeah, compromise, a big part of any relationship. Christian, 15.
Yeah, well, I was, going out with this girl for probably, 8 months, and she wouldn't give me a blowjob. And, I'd eat her out and stuff, and she wouldn't do it.
Oh, Christ. How old was she?
She's 15.
She's 11. Huh?
No, she's 15.
15?
Yeah.
I hope you backhanded that bitch.
No, well...
No?
No.
Huh. What kind of message are you sending her, Christian?
I don't know, but I went on vacation, just a trip to Monterey, and her friend gave me a blowjob.
Well, there you go.
But
you're quite a gentleman, Christian. Living up to your name.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This guy is an asshole.
Drew, please.
He's only 15. But he's on his way.
Yeah. Couldn't your folks have named you Satan so it wouldn't be so confusing for the ladies? Hey, is that a cardiac monitor? What is that? What is that, Drew?
Well, But I don't, I don't want to break up the friendship because she's threatening to tell the friend. And like,
all right, so let me just backtrack. Is this girl your girlfriend, the one you were giving oral sex to?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the one that gave it to him was his girlfriend's friend.
All right, well, let me just go on a minor tirade here, Christian. Hold on. Ladies, you got to get together. You got to get on the same page here. You friends that go ahead and blow the boyfriend because the girlfriend is not giving him oral pleasure are ruining it for all women. Do you understand? You are why women are so screwed up. You are why this woman is going to hear this story, and then her next boyfriend with the huge penis is going to be sodomizing her for the next 10 years because she's scared that you're going to step in with your butthole and let him work you. Am I right, Drew?
I don't know that those body parts are essential for that theory, but yes, I think you ought to state it more clearly that women, one of the reasons that women subjugate their needs to a man is so another woman won't move in and give the guy what he wants.
Right. And the ones who move in are almost like scabs at a picket line. She's walking around with a sign, no blowjobs, a big picket sign, and you come sliding right in the back door, and you're ready to put in a full day's work at the penis factory. Am I right, Drew?
Yes, Adam.
And you're breaking up the union.
Yes.
You have to unite. We'll be back.
Ernie, the world's fastest drummer for LoveLine. Hi, when I'm not drumming up a storm.
What was the rest of it? LoveLine will be right back. If it's not, sue me or something.
Hi, this is John Taylor and Steve Jones from the Neurotic Outsiders.
And you're listening to LoveLine with Adam Carell and Dr. Drew.
Yes. Adam Carell.
That's you.
And filling in for Adam Carell tonight is Adam Carolla. Doing a fine job, I might add. I hope they have. That is what it sounds like when you fart in a coffee can, Drew. All right. Hey, enter your mics and mutes. Look at him. Make a fart joke, and he enjoys it. All right, I want to thank the beautiful Jerry, lovely Lisa, and the Angular One producer, Ann, for doing a wonderful job tonight, putting her feminine stink on the show. Also, the one that won her engineer, Mike. Tomorrow night, the Murmurs will be in here, and until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying, mahalo.
This has been LoveLine. The opinions expressed herein are certainly opinions, that's for sure. If you'd like a written transcript of today's program, you probably should have written it down yourself. And if you did, we'd like a copy.
LoveLine producer Ann Wilkins.
This broadcast was copyright 1997 Westwood One Entertainment. This music is MXPX on Tooth and Nail Records.
Sit, Obo. Obo, stop dragging your butt across the carpet.